A very boring history of everyday life. History is often presented as a story of dramatic events, powerful rulers and important wars. However, most of human history was not dramatic. Most of it was slow, repetitive, and ordinary people. Woke up, worked, ate, and slept. Then they did the same thing again the next day. This pattern continued for thousands of years. To understand this properly, we will begin a long time ago, early human life. For most of human existence, people lived as hunter-gatherers. This means they hunted animals and gathered plants. This lifestyle lasted for tens of thousands of years. During this period, there were no cities, no supermarkets, and no office jobs. Instead, people spent a large amount of time walking around looking for food. A typical day might involve waking up early. Someone would look for berries, someone else might search for roots or edible plants. Others might attempt to hunt animals. Sometimes they succeeded, sometimes they did not. When they did not succeed, people simply tried again the next day. This routine continued for many generations. There were no clocks, so people followed the sun. When the sun rose, people woke up. When the sun set, people usually slept. The pattern was simple and repeated for a very long time. The development of farming. Eventually, humans began farming. This change happened slowly. It did not occur in a single year or even a single century. Instead, people gradually learned that seeds placed in the ground could grow into plants. At first, farming was not necessarily easier than hunting and gathering. In fact, it could be more work. Farmers had to prepare soil, plant seeds, remove weeds, and wait for crops to grow mass. However, farming had one advantage: it allowed people to stay in one place. Because of this, small villages began to appear. These villages were usually very quiet places. People built simple houses made from mud, wood, or stone. Each day followed a predictable routine. A farmer woke up. The farmer checked the crops. The farmer worked in the fields. Later, the farmer ate dinner. When the farmer slept, the next day, the same process happened again, and again, and again. The growth of villages. Over time, villages slowly became larger. When villages became larger, they sometimes turned into towns. Towns often had a few extra features compared to villages. For example, a marketplace, a well for water, a few specialized workers such as potters or blacksmiths. Despite these changes, everyday life remained repetitive. Most people were still farmers. They still spent most of their day doing agricultural work. Weather was extremely important. If the weather was good, crops grew. If the weather was good, crops did not grow. When crops failed, life became difficult. Because of this, many people spent time worrying about rain. Early governments. As towns became larger, some form of organization became necessary. Leaders appeared. These leaders were sometimes kings, sometimes chiefs, and sometimes councils. However, the daily life of ordinary people changed very little. A farmer in one kingdom usually lived a life very similar to a farmer in another kingdom. They planted crops, harvested crops, and hoped nothing went wrong. Governments collected taxes. Taxes were usually paid with grain, animals, or labor. This meant that farmers worked not only for themselves but also for their rulers. Still, most days were quiet. There were no major events happening in the average village on most days. Long periods of routine. If you examine history carefully, you will notice something interesting. Major events are actually quite rare. Most years contain very few dramatic changes. Instead, history is mostly made of ordinary days. For example, imagine a farmer living 2,000 years ago. On Monday, the farmer works in the field. On Tuesday, the farmer works in the field again. On Wednesday, the farmer repairs a fence. On Thursday, the farmer feeds animals. On Friday, the farmer works in the field again. This schedule might continue for months. Nothing particularly exciting happens.
And that was normal. Tools and technology. Over time, tools improved slowly. Early farmers used simple tools made of stone or wood. Later, metal tools became more common. These improvements made certain tasks slightly easier, but they did not completely transform everyday life. A metal shovel is better than a wooden stick, but digging is still digging life. As a result, daily routines remained similar for centuries. Transportation. Travel in the past was slow. Most people walked almost every day. Some used animals such as horses or donkeys. Because travel was slow, many people spent their entire lives within a relatively small area. A person might be born in a village, live in that village, and eventually die in that same village. This means that their life experiences were often very predictable. They saw the same roads, the same buildings, the same fields. Every day looked.
Pusu nyamba ko. Ngochikana pusu nyamba. Adiwa amaku. Paso chakija nyamba. Kani yoma. Akasa ngo. Che tena boko. Ah, hatele. Look at you oh to go ah. Iya korang kuah. Nienda kumsalimia. Tunziko uchiko. Akwa chikwa. Anjena, ingina nkui. Dich iko choma asa. Akika asa kunju nepepe akwe obe ina me. Iyo. Kwa anaka chekwa.
Akula ako tashi ako.
Kaya kwa watakwa. Suwe kumba kutakumien. Windi ko uchi. Take. Ali wana kwi. Chete basi kushama kwa huduma kwa amati biti mkubwa kata bicho kama ndio makata Dani nako anteni shango tisir baru tibe kasa itu mana lu Cina kaso aku coba tipita ukuluga Eka kuine kwa altala na kwa kuana ola beka kafepe kada ka ko lipukat kata nang kati kama na baba mata nana kibiki yako bokonda dume ani yana kama kata kaza upako hama na kwa no kama na baba ida ka ako ono ko gari mulmina ta ha mulmina na maziwa vile mguu moja moja
ile za kiasi
buku wako pale
chakuiko biku akabikubata na kuni hata kuni inapikwa mlenda ma sijui sasa
na ugali
kuti nataka kutuichi aba biet atina maima Has a ear go to go as. Oh, if you were like I should not be Hesata hes. Ako ko na.
Hayipi abijuju pochane be kobe abi hayipi sasa tosha bota kat ikwa be on hayipi habife akwa pi kobe abi sasa ndiko to asami kwa hibi fo towicha kwa sasa nyandeko kat ikwa buko sameta ali don't tumika ake ikabahe ali
Hi. What?
Hi. Yo cold, you got to go to Angaluna. Rather than go Margot, eh? If you got. Kukwama na bamwe seta kwa iye. Kande dada. Kande. Kagubi. Akwa ku ishetana. Akena la tukiteko. Kwa haya tako. Giza laguna kwa. Ako tu kuku sauno kwa tu alaguna kwa sakona kujiikata. Kubako na ngomo. Mala. Kutu wemba. Ika bado. Kote akpata. Jana na tintiri ya tingichi ya uno baba ni ko bebi. Bena ko jana na Kuba yo atiyete chumbe. Tuku kaya bada kwa chokia taman na bitabu. Ini ika. Mena tatu ika Kati kutoka bitabu. Ika akala lambu bichi na babako again. Aka achuni. Bana pukuchua chaba akaba kitoki ina tina heti. Ama na kwa sipika. Kwa mwana mkosa mchani. Chimaka ko Nani yana kutoka kwa bakataka. Chimaka kwa katena kitu dele. Ya, bama na boni. Ingi.